Randy has one of the most interesting stories that you're going to hear. It's fascinating.
Depends on how much you want to tell us.
We've become friends, real good friends. We love Randy. We've helped him get a job, and we've just been, as much as we could do to help Randy, we have. So
but
Randy,
you're getting ready to leave.
you're leaving us.
Yeah.
You're leaving us.
Now, are you going to come back?
Yeah, I got friends. I've been back and forth here several times.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and that
But to stay, I don't know.
you don't know? How long have you been here this
This
last
time,
Yeah,
a year.
a year.
I got here actually in October.
Wow, so you kind of
I rode my bike from El Paso to here.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what Randy's done for. You've been to, how many states have you ridden your bike to?
It's better to say every state west of the Mississippi River except Hawaii. And
you
I've been
did-
all to the southeast
And you did it
At
for
least
what?
twice.
Why did you do that?
for the Wounded Warriors Project.
For the Wounded Warriors. So,
And I didn't believe you when you first said that, but you said Google me.
Yeah, you saw it on the newspaper, didn't you?
I did. Tell me what I Googled again. I'm just curious in case somebody wants to check us.
It's Roscoe's tour across America.
so how much money do you think you've raised? And Randy, how long have you been homeless?
Off and on
Yeah.
since '85,
Since 85.
but a lot of that I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to talk about
I
that
was,
too.
I was
You're
a lot
incarcerated.
of- if I wasn't in prison, I was homeless.
But you like that though.
Like what?
Not prison.
You
No,
like you like being there. I mean, you kind of like
Yeah, I prefer to live in a tent.
How much money do you think you raised over the years riding your bike? for
Well,
the Warriors?
this past time when I went to Jacksonville, their headquarters in Jacksonville, Florida, my handler was Evan, and he had never met me. And I came through there and I had raised, they've been keeping track, $166,000. And that was just for one, one trip.
One leg of weight.
Yeah,
on it. Yeah.
$166,000 that you've raised over the years.
And you're not a veteran.
No,
You just did it because
it's my way of saying thank you to all the veterans, especially the Vietnam era, because that's when I grew up in the '60s, and that made the biggest impression on me because I seen how they were treated when they came home from the war, spit on, called child killers and everything else. They didn't get no respect, no honor, no nothing.
No, they didn't.
None.
And they just followed orders.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
Well, what we really find interesting about you, Randy, is you're a hard worker. A lot of you guys out there in Bartlesville have seen Randy riding his bike. He's got his Ray-Bans on, he's got his hat on. You're always looking stylish, and
Well, yeah, because I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people have a misconception about homeless people in Bartlesville. And of course it's gotten probably, I mean, you probably know this morning, Betty, there's more maybe than there's been in the past, but, so that's why I was thinking, we had to interview Randy, because you have not, it's just to tell your story, like what you're like. It's
what year did you first go to prison?
75.
1975. How old were you?
I turned 19 while I was in jail.
Okay.
And I remember what you told me, why you went. What? Do you remember what you said? You remember this?
They
Not what you did, but why you went. You said you were trying to get the.
I didn't, and I don't have no drug problem or.
No, you never were.
Problem.
You never-
I just never were. I just never been, on drugs, and so everybody was thinking, well, why'd you do it for if you didn't need drugs?
Right.
I wanted the American dream, and I wanted it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told me. That's what you said. I wanted it overnight.
And I was just impatient. I can't wait. I got to work 20 years. What? 20 years? Look at me. I'm 66 now. I've never been married, you know? So,
But you do have a child.
yeah,
Want to talk about that?
yeah, well,
When's the last time you saw your daughter?
December 23rd, 1989. She was 17 months old.
And you guys
She
spent
lives,
some time
she
together.
lives in San Jose. We went, me and my girlfriend at that time, we went to San Jose and we went to the mall in San Jose and for Christmas, and I carried her on my shoulder for all day long. If I put her down, she'd cry. I put her on Santa Claus' lap, she cried. I put her on my shoulder, she was happy.
That was a
Oh, that must have been, we must have had her for about 8 hours. We just walked around.
It was a
She
good
didn't
day.
want to come on, yeah, it was a good day.
It was a good day.
And-
You don't know where she's at.
Yeah, I know where she's at.
You
I've
know.
got her address,
Okay.
but
You never reached out to her?
I don't know how. It's
Okay.
pretty hard to,
Sure.
you know, what am I supposed to say? Hey, I'm homeless, I'm living here in a tent.
No?
No, you know.
Well, look, before you need to do that. I think it'd be good for your heart to reach out.
Yeah,
My real dad walked out on me when I was a week old.
My real father was in prison
Yeah.
in Jackson, Michigan. And he got deported back to England. He got banned, he can't come back over here, so I never met him. I saw him one time, but never spoke to him.
So you spent a total of 25 years in prison, right?
Almost 25, yeah, I'm between Oklahoma, which I did most of it here,
Right.
Texas, and Arizona.
You were at the Big Mac.
Yeah, I escaped from there.
Oh, you at the Big Mac, McAllister? While you were in prison, Randy, we can talk about this. You had some instances, you had some things that happened while you were in prison. But one of the fascinating things about Randy that we learned is Randy can do ice sculpture. He's a chef. He's been trained in so many different things.
Give us the list, because people are not going to believe it. Because when I was trying to write all this down,
Well,
it almost got funny.
I've done work as a carpenter. I'm not a full-fledged carpenter. I'm probably about like 85% of the union scales. I'm more than a cook, I'm a chef.
Mhm.
I went to chef school in San Francisco, culinary arts. I've been a lifeguard in
That's
Miami
right.
Beach.
That's not funny.
Construction, let me see.
Ice sculptor.
Well, ice sculptures was
Part of the other,
part of
okay.
my job when I was in
That's
Atlanta.
okay.
Well, while in prison, you got some things that happened.
Yeah,
You took care of some things.
well, I have to be better. We'll just say, after I was in for 2 or 3 years, I got a problem with these, 2 different separate incidents, and, I used to walk around with a ice pick. That was my shank. Everybody walked around with a shank. I don't care what you got.
Right.
And McAllister, you gotta have something,
Right.
because everybody else does, you know.
I'm thinking.
This was actually one of the things that a welder uses.
Oh, okay.
A welding hammer?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of them. They go right through, it went right through the skull. All the way to the hammer.
And you did that.
Twice. In separate years. But, I'm not a violent person,
No, you're
but
not.
I'm not gonna let somebody just take my manhood,
Right.
you know, I'm gonna fight.
You're gonna fight for it. Now, what was interesting, after you killed those guys in prison, they threw you in the hole.
Yeah, but you only do,
90
you
days?
get a write-up back then. There wasn't no such thing as filing murder charges on everything
Right.
back then, because it was, you know, they want to kill each other, let them kill them.
Right.
So, yeah, I did 90 days in the hole.
Tell us about that experience. That was your worst experience, wasn't it?
I don't know, it was one of them, but it was, in McAllister, they got the rodeo grounds. Now, they've probably changed it all now, but this is back in the late 70s. They had a place they called The Rock. It's running parallel with the rodeo. And there's 25 cells or rooms on each side. Solid door. concrete slab that you lay out, sit on. Had a hole in the floor that you,
Went to the bathroom.
yeah,
Yeah. went to
both
the-
ways, and they flushed it, when they wanted to flush it from one side.
Okay.
They kept the light off.
Completely dark.
It's pitch
I
black.
couldn't even see her.
I couldn't even see my hand. You know?
And you're completely naked.
Yeah, no clothes, no. But I was the only one they did that because of what I did to
Right.
get down there.
Right.
The only time I saw daylight was when they turned the light on about midnight. For about 5 minutes, they just come by there to count, make sure you're there, and
That's
close
it.
and turn it off.
That's it.
But the light, after being in the darkness for so long, oh man, it drove me crazy.
So you spent.
So after that, tell me you figured out I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm
Oh
gonna
man, it was.
Did that change you?
Did that change?
That time there, McAllister?
Yeah.
No, it just made me worse.
So you got out. and
Why?
85. You got out in
Oh.
85. What did you do after 85 when you got out?
I came up here.
And you were worse up here.
No, I wasn't. I was actually.
That's when you started being homeless, though, in 85.
Well, yeah, I stayed in hotels, but hotels is considered homeless. I've stayed in. I've had. In '87 to '88, I had a good apartment, a good job in San Francisco. My girlfriend, we weren't married, but she just, she put a bad taste in my mouth about women. I hate to say that.
Well, no.
I hate to say, well, because I don't want to, I know all women are the same,
No, you
but
love Chrissy. You should have.
I just, the way she treated me, she just wanted to have a baby, and I made myself available after we had sex, and she got pregnant. That was it, right? That was no more.
Now, was that your?
Well, how would you do? How would you done that now? If she would have cut you off after she got what she wanted, you'd be gone, wouldn't you?
Well, if I was not her husband.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yes.
I don't like. We are not referring you in this story.
She's Japanese,
Mhm.
and
We-
she's
yes, we
real
didn't cover
high.
that.
They're different
He likes
Asian.
Asian women. We established that in our interview at the Warming
The Warming Center.
Yeah, I haven't
It's a fun
I haven't
fact.
dated or anything else with a white girl in 20 years. If I look at a white girl, she a bad mother. She a bad woman if I'm looking at her.
I don't know what that means.
No, I
It's
don't.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I look at her in that way, you know, I mean, I respect you. I'm not gonna,
Right.
you know, I know what it says in the Bible. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife
Right.
or his house. You know,
Right.
but yeah, if she was single,
Right.
available,
Right.
I would be interested.
Sure you would. There's a lot of guys that would, right? I'm just telling you. I know that already.
I knew.
I'm sorry,
No,
I don't know what no other way. I'm like Trump. I'm non-political. I just call it like I see it.
And I do too.
You know.
Oh my gosh.
Now-
Okay.
Now tell us also, so I want to go back to the Wounded Warriors when you started writing, because that's so interesting to me, because we've actually first met you when we were feeding there at Agape.
Yeah,
That's when we first
uh-huh.
met, before the warming
I
center.
still got those shirts.
Oh, good.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And do you, how many miles do you think you've ridden on your bike?
Oh, since I've been doing this,
Yeah.
easily over 50,000. My bike that I've got locked up down there right now,
Right.
it's my second bike. I wore the first one out. This one here's almost got 30,000 on it,
Wow.
and I put $400-500 into it to make sure I maintain it. You know, so
Right.
it
Right.
stays good.
Because you're getting ready to ride.
He's riding again.
Yeah, I'm riding next Thursday, September 1st. I'm leaving here, Bartlesville. I'm heading back home to El Paso. I've got
Now,
Joe.
do you say El Paso
Joe.
is your home?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we've worked with a lot of homeless people over the years, and we've made a lot of good friends with a lot of good people. And there are a lot of homeless people who don't mind being homeless.
I
They love it. I wouldn't say a high percentage.
I
would say 25.
I'm in that little category where I prefer it because I'm just staying over there. I knew I was going to stay there until I leave. They already knew that, so I was just temporary.
But before that, though,
But before
you
that,
lived behind Lowe's in a tent.
yeah.
And you did good, because you said nobody knows where you were.
Well, actually, they do now. The police came down there one day by accident at night. They were stopped somebody that was parked over there, and he was I don't know what he was doing, but a cop came down the little round, saw me because I seen the lights and everything. I didn't know what was going on. He came down and asked me my name. I told him my name. He looked at my tent. It was like 1:30 in the morning. He looked at my tent. You the only one down there? Yeah. He seen my bike and my trailer and everything. He could tell that I'd been traveling. He didn't see no signs of beer or alcohol or drugs or anything else. So he left me alone and never been down there. Never bothered me. Rando come down there when it was hot one day.
Yep.
He saw me down there and he ran, oh, I know that guy. And I was down there.
That's good.
And the Mexican dude that,
Mario.
yeah, he was
Yep.
down there too.
Yep.
He's a good guy. Yeah, I think they were making the rounds, making sure people were
And then
there.
when it was really cold, then we took care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
were
wouldn't
good.
have came down there, but I was debating because, I don't know, man, I just,
You didn't like people. You don't like hanging around a bunch of people.
well, not just a bunch of people, but I knew the type of people that were going to be in there.
Right.
You know, and I stereotype. I can do that. I'm not no police officer.
Right.
But I won't say nothing about, but I seen everybody that was in there, pretty much. I would not hang around.
Right.
Had you known him before, anybody?
No, but I knew their type. Like the old man and woman with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Now, you do make about a little over $800 a month.
yeah, Social Security
Social Security.
for retirement.
Yes, your retirement. So, what do you do? How much do you have saved up for your trip? How much money you got saved up right now?
Do you want him to, can you ask that? Is that a good question?
Look at
He might
that.
not want to answer that question.
If he doesn't want to answer it, just I'm not going to answer it, Keith. You're good?
I'm broke.
You're broke.
That's why I'm leaving September 1st.
Okay.
Because that's the day I get paid. So I get 501 from Social Security, and then I get 360 from Social Security also for supplemental because I make the 500 a month would be below poverty. So they give me 360 for that. Plus they pay $148.50 for my Medicaid that I have in Texas. They pay for my insurance, but I can't use it here.
Right.
How old are you?
66.
66.
I knew it was-
But yeah, I needed my bike I needed fixed, so I put new tires. I had to have it road ready. So,
Is it road ready?
oh, well, if I had my check right now, I'd be gone.
So you're waiting for your check
I'm
September
in-
1st.
Yeah,
You'll get your check.
and if I don't get, I don't want to ride through from the start. I don't want to ride through the Osage Hills.
It's tough.
From the beginning, yeah. Now I can, once I get to Pawhuska, I can make it to Ponca City or Enid, I think.
Randy, you want me to take you to Pawhuska?
It'd be great.
We can put
But I got my trailer,
We'll
We'll figure it out. We got a
figure it
truck. We can get a truck.
We'll figure it out.
you know, and I have to take it from there.
Well, Rando, Randy, and me, we all have a past.
Right.
And sometimes we're not proud of our past, but it is our past.
I'm not proud
But
of it.
I'm a new man through Jesus.
Yes,
And so,
that's the most important
he's
thing right
forgiven.
there.
You
That
bet it
is.
is.
That's it. That's
I don't
why-
care what the police know,
No. Or what
it's
people
what
say.
God knows,
That's right.
you know.
Yep.
He knows what I've done.
He knows your heart.
I've asked for his forgiveness. He's granted me that
Yep.
through grace.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Well,
That's
okay.
it. And that's why we got.
That's why we wanted to do this interview. There's some other people out there that we want to interview and kind of do this because obviously we become friends with Randy and we wanted you guys to see kind of the life that he's lived and some of the things he's done and he was open to do this, to share with you guys his life. And so, hey guys, thanks for joining us today, and God bless, and we will see you down the road.